Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So actually we are discussing about the DRS. Now again I have to go there. Yes. So here what you are doing in case of DRS, decreasing returns to scale, what you are doing that you are increasing your labor by capital by 20% again. So your total cost is increased by 20%. And your quantity will definitely increase but less than 20%. And why it is happening? Because you are producing a lot at that time. Na? You are produced already a lot of amount you have already produced. So there is a congestion in your production unit. Okay, and that is why the output could not increase to that extent as it was before. So what will happen? Your average cost will fall. So this is how you can economically interpret the shape of your LSE curve with the returns to scale. Okay, with the help of these economies of scale, with the help of these economies of scale and everything. Huh? So this is how you can explain. If you have any further query, you can ask me. Now I am going to this question. Look at the question. Derive the cost function from Cobb-Douglas production function. So this is how you can get your cost. Okay, you can get your cost function. This is actually the bridge. This is actually a bridge through which you can come from your production analysis to cost analysis. So what you have to do, actually this solution is not here. Let me explain it to you, and I'm going to share this in your LMS today so that you can submit this by next week. Hmm. So what you have to do in case of Cobb-Douglas production function, take any Cobb-Douglas production function. Q is A L to the power alpha K to the power beta. This is your production function. And take any isocost equation. Okay, that is C is equal to WL plus RK. Hmm. Now you have to make the Lagrange equation. That is, what is your objective? To minimize your cost. So WL plus RK plus lambda and then Q minus A L to the power alpha K to the power beta. That is your Lagrangian equation. Then solve this equation with respect to L, with respect to K, and as well as with respect to lambda. Then from this first two equation, that means what I have done. If in case of cost minimization, you have to do that mathematics, that Lagrangian quotient. In this case of Cobb-Douglas production function, you will get a beautiful value of L star and a beautiful. That means a decent looking L star and K star. And if you put those values in your cost function, that is C is equal to WL plus RK. There you have to put it so that C becomes C is equal to WL star plus RK star. It will be the cost function. Okay, this is how you have to find the cost function for Cobb-Douglas production function. So do it. This is your task, and definitely I will share in your LMS. Okay, and you in this class I am just announcing that the time is next 1 week. Now this is a new concept, that is the expansion path. Now what is expansion path? Expansion path, remember, expansion path is a locus of combination of cost minimizing values of labor and capital corresponding to parametric variation of output level. That means if you just draw, look at this diagram, if you just draw some isocost lines which are parallel to each other, okay, that means W by R is constant. If they are parallel to each other, that means your W by R is constant, right? So you have to draw all those isocost lines, and corresponding to each of these isocost line, there will be one equilibrium. Done. And if you join all those equilibrium points, you will get your expansion path. Why? Because the expansion path is the cost minimizing, showing the cost minimizing values. So that means the equilibrium, cost minimizing. That means the equilibrium values of labor and capital when the parametric variation of your output level is happening. That means you are changing your output level given the W by R, and the cost minimizing L star and L K star are on your expansion path. Okay, so this is the definition of your expansion path. The diagram, look at this diagram. This is the general shape of your expansion path. It's upward rising but uneven in shape. There is no particular shape actually. Concave, convex, straight line, anything can happen. Obviously, it is upward rising because you are increasing your total cost continuously. If you are moving from the origin in this direction, not this direction, that means you are increasing your total cost. So obviously your output should change, increase. So in that case, expansion path is upward rising. That much we can say in general. Okay, not of a particular shape. Now look, this is very similar. This is very close to expansion path. Isocline. What is isocline? It is the locus of combination of labor and capital such that MRPT is constant. Look at this. Very confusing actually. Huh? If you read these two things side by side, they are very confusing. It is a locus of combination of labor and capital such that MRPT is constant. MRPT is what? MRPT is the slope of your isoquant, right? So slope of your isoquant, MRPT, should be constant along the isocline. Now look what will happen. Here, there are two isocost lines. Okay. So each isocost is showing one W by R. This is a W by R which is same as W by R here. Now look, you may take another point here, and these 2 points MRPT may be same, but they are not the equilibrium. MRPT at this point is equal to MRPT of this point, but these are not equilibrium points. Equilibrium is only here. On the equilibrium path, you have MRPT constant because your W by R is constant, and at the equilibrium that W by R is equal to MRPT. So along your expansion path, MRPT is constant. But other than the expansion path, there are so many points. There are so many points here and here where MRPTs are same. Okay, the MRPT on that isoquant at this point may be equal to the MRPT at this point, because MRPT is just the ratio of the marginal products. Then, so these are same, but they are not at the equilibrium points. If you can join all those points where the MRPT is constant, this is your isocline. Okay, and along the expansion path, your MRPT is constant, and which is equal to W by R. Something addition. Okay, so expansion path has some more property than isocline. So if it is, so we can say that expansion path is also an isocline, because expansion path is following the property of isocline plus something else. So in that case, we can say expansion path is a special type of isocline. Tell me, these are very new concepts to you, expansion path and isocline. So if you have any problem with these two, ask me. Expansion path and isocline. Make yourself very much clear. What is expansion path? What is isocline? Where is the difference? Any doubt? Ask. Feel free, ask. You don't have any problem. Then I have a problem with you. You should have some problem because this is something new to you. Can you hear me? By the way, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I want some problem from you. With expansion path and isocline, you must have some problem because this is something new.
Ma'am, can you please explain the isocline part once more?
What's your name? Devika.
No, ma'am, Anjana Pandey.
Oh, nothing. What I am saying along the isocline. Along the isocline, your MRPT is constant. Now, what is MRPT? It is MPL by MPK. And we are measuring what is actually the MRPT. MRPT is the absolute value of the slope of my isoquant, right? That
Yes, ma'am.
concept came from the isoquant. So it is the isoquant. Now look, I'm going back to my diagram. Look at this. Actually, this diagram is a bit hazy. The lines are not so thick as it is generally. There are two isoquants, right? There are two isoquants in my diagram. Now look, forget about this equilibrium points. Take any point of this lower isoquant. Take any point on this lower isoquant. Okay. For that point, you have a particular MRPT, the slope. The slope of this particular point is the MRPT.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
take the higher isoquant and try to find out same MRPT along this higher isoquant. There may be another point, then not the maybe, there must be another point on the new isoquant where the MRPT is same with this initial isoquant. Okay. And for each and every isoquant, you will get a particular point where the MRPT is same with your first isoquant. Say the point is here. Okay, say the point is here. Aha. Say the point is here. Any point like this, say it is here. We are concerned about the MRPT of this particular point. Here, it is not the equilibrium point, any point other than equilibrium point. Hmm. So here the MRPT of that particular point, say it is A. So that you can get the same MRPT along your any point on your higher isoquant. If you can draw another isoquant here also you can get a point where whose MRPT is same with the first point's MRPT, right? Because MRPT will
Yes,
change
ma'am.
and MRPT will fall actually. So if you just if you just find all those points along several isoquants where the MRPT is constant and you will join all those points, it is your isocline.
Okay, ma'am.
Now
Okay, ma'am.
look at the equilibrium points. Along the equilibrium point also here, the equilibrium point here and here, your MRPT is constant and same. Why? Because your W by R is constant by definition. Your isocost lines are parallel to each other. Okay. So if your isocost lines are parallel, that means W by R is same. And at the equilibrium, W by R is equal to MRPT. So if your W by R is same, then your MRPT is also same at this equilibrium point and at this equilibrium point. So you can say the line like this is also an isocline because MRPT is constant. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is why I am saying that expansion path is also, this is what, this is your expansion path. So that is why I am saying that expansion path is also an isocline. But all isoclines are not expansion path because expansion path has some additional property, that cost minimizing value. Isocline doesn't have this. So expansion path is also an isocline which has some additional property of that cost minimizing value. Hmm. It should be on the equilibrium. Expansion path must go through the equilibrium point. But isocline can go through any point. Only MRPT must be constant. Okay. So isocline is a larger set and expansion path is a subset. Okay. This is the difference.
Okay, ma'am.
This is another problem. Expansion path again. Here the derivation of expansion path for fixed coefficient production function. Try it. I'm giving you 5 minutes. Try it. It's only it's 12 o'clock only. So take your time. Fixed coefficient production function Q is equal to minimum of L by A K by B. Okay. This is the production function. From there you have to draw the expansion path. So you know what is the equilibrium point. It is a kinked, right? If the production function is fixed coefficient, the line is kinked line. Kinked isoquants are there. And the equilibrium is showing L star and K star, where L by A is equal to K by B is equal to Q. This is the property of the equilibrium point. So if you join all those equilibrium points, you will get the expansion path, you know. What is the shape of the expansion path in that case?
Ma'am, for a Leontief production function, it will be a straight line passing through the origin, like it's the locus of all the cost minimizing points. So all of the L-shaped like cost minimizing points taken together, it will be like
I'm not talking about Leontief, I'm talking about fixed coefficients.
yes, ma'am. That is it. Like the L-shaped one. For that,
Yes.
for that, it will be like a straight line passing through the origin and with like all the cost minimizing points like taken as a locus and like it's a straight line
Yes.
passing through the origin.
Yes. And the line is, the slope is B by L. Look at the solution.
Yes, B by A.
Okay. L by A is equal to K by B. So your K by L is B by A. Look, when I will show you this type of solution, now look at this diagram. This is actually incomplete because I am not writing what I am measuring here. What is the name of my equilibrium points? Everything is nothing actually. Only the diagram is there. Because I have to do a lot. No? In each day, I am trying to make 10 slides. So sometimes it is not possible for me to do all these things. But remember, this is your task. When you will do your task, you will do your solution, you have to write everything in your diagram. This is actually incomplete. My diagram is incomplete in that sense. Anyway, L by A, K by B. So your K by L is B by A. So your expansion path, look, again, the expansion path is upward rising, but it has a particular shape and it is a straight line through origin, upward rising straight line through origin. Okay, so this is your expansion path. Okay, other students, if you have any problem, no problem. Now this is another problem from my side. Expansion path is a straight line passing through origin if production function is linearly homogeneous. This is your task to find the answer, whether it is true or not. That you have to check. If the production function is linearly homogeneous, then whether the expansion path is a straight line through origin or not. If I will show you the linearly homogeneous production function, the answer is there. Oh, it is not there. Very good. Very good. So this is your task. Do it. Very good. I just forgot to copy here. Expansion path is a straight line passing through origin if production function is linearly homogeneous. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me do one thing because it will take a lot of time. The solution will take a lot of time, and the equation which will come out from these all mathematics, the look of those equations will be not so good. Okay, so many fractions, values will be there. So it will take time. Let me do one thing. I'm going to share problem 4 and problem 2. Okay, problem 4 and problem 2 in your LMS right now. And solve it with your own. We will meet next Thursday again, and we will discuss those things there also. Otherwise, you will solve it and by next Saturday submit. Okay. Tell me before, just forget about problem 2 and problem 4 because that is your actually home task. So other than that, if you have any problem with whatever I have discussed today, ask me. The reference, yes, yes, Kirabdi, yes, yes. In case of expansion path and isocline, only for that path, my reference is Ferguson and Gold. Okay, for expansion path and isocline, only for these two portions. Okay, and other than that, in case of the cost and everything, we discussed about the production functions. Yes, variant. Okay, variant. And the next class, we will again discuss the cost section. For that remaining portion, the reference will be Pindak and Rubenfeld. But whatever I have discussed today, for that, my reference is variant. Only for expansion path and isocline, the reference is Ferguson and Gold. And what we will discuss in the next class in our cost analysis, the reference will be Pindyke and Rubenfeld. Okay, I hope now it is clear. Ma'am, is this
Yes,
similar
ma'am.
to ICC? Yes, Agnivo, is the similar to ICC like it was the locus. Yes, 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 yes. Expansion path is very much similar to ICC. Yes, similar to ICC. In case of ICC, your income was changing, all other factors are constant, and here your total cost is changing, wage rental ratio is constant. Yes. So for today, this much, and